Hi, Nick. My name is Yamilet Ramos, and I want to ask multiple questions now
I'm excited to answer the questions.
because
Fire away.
everyone is um, following you in YouTube and your channel, and you're teaching me many things. You're a good mentor,
Thank you.
and of course, I want to ask you questions about the everything that you have in this office. You know.
Okay.
About you person, the who inspire you, and how you inspire other people.
I gained original inspiration from working with Nathan Pritikin, who was a great nutritionist. And Joyce Johnson came to work with Nathan Pritikin and myself, and she told me to read a book, See You at the Top by Zig Ziglar. And I read that book at least 6 times, and it made a huge difference in my life. And I started studying motivational speakers and educators. And as I did so, I realized that I could be very passionate and excited about the things I was teaching, particularly when I felt I could help people to transform their lives.
I mean, you do a very good job, in my opinion. I see you working with people that that's why it gets my attention, and I believe something. If you interview someone, if you want to know and show to the world and show to the people, it's because your passion is you have something inside of you that it's unique. Make sense?
Yeah. My passion is driven by my failures. I felt like I did not do enough to save the woman I loved, and when she died after childbirth of my son 27 years ago, I felt there was so much more that I maybe could have known. So I felt a little bit guilty, and I felt like I needed to learn as much as possible. So it set me on an odyssey for 27 years to study about hormones, to understand how they work and why she had hyperthyroidism and how she had died of congestive heart failure 10 days after my son was born. So for myself, I felt that I had to find the greatest mentors, the greatest educators and scientists and doctors, and I traveled to find these people and record them, and I asked them many questions. And it was from those questions that I realized that not only could I possibly have saved her life, but I felt that I was destined to help save many other people, and even just to help them with their skin and their complexion and how they looked and how they felt. Because a person to perform at their absolute best needs to have all the resources that God has given us, but also know how to operate our bodies and what we need to do. And really the details makes the difference between helping a person get to the next level and whether they apply those details. That's where I started studying about psychology. So I have many professors and scientists and educators that taught me about the psychology of the importance of the power of the mind.
Okay. That was something that gets my attention when I come into your office the first time. I see the power speed name in battle, and I don't even know that you lift weight, like, very I don't know, and till I get to read your books and get to know you, and I was impressed because you done a lot. So how do how can you explain to the audience that how you lift so many weight?
Well, I trained with one of the greatest strength endurance athletes, Dragan Radovich, and he became my mentor as I realized, as I pursued his world record, I had to adapt everything I could to learn how he had done it, because he was an inspiration to me, having never been defeated by anyone. in world and international national competitions. And so as I continued to pursue his weightlifting record, I spent time training with him, and I asked him a lot of questions. And I'm a good student, so I mastered what he taught me, and then I applied what other doctors and educators, and I had a Russian scientist teaching me about how to, Dr. Vladimir K, how to remove the heat from my body rapidly while I was generating massive amount of energy and heat as I lifted the weights. We strategized how to give me enough fluids during my world record attempts, how to make sure I got the right nutrition, the right herbs and supplements. And we spent a better part of 3 years preparing me to one day attempt to break Dragan Radovich's record that was set at Venice Beach, California, where he had lifted over 40,000 pounds continuous in 1 hour, filmed by KABC TV.
Unbelievable.
At Venice Beach. And it was my goal to exceed that record, which I finally did on November of 2007. I broke his all-time world record, and it was something that during that month of October, November, I decided that early on as an athlete, when I lost a lot of weight to play football, and I dropped something like 50 pounds when I was a young man. I was overweight my whole youth. I struggled with being overweight. So when I lost that weight, I said in my mind, I could do anything. I know I can do anything. And so when I attempted to break that world record, immediately after breaking the world record, I traveled around the world to lecture at conferences, at doctors' events, anti-aging conferences. And I gained more and more confidence because most of my professional life, I had been a public speaker and a radio talk show host. And so I then wanted to educate people that even though I was in my late 50s and now I'm in my late 60s, that you can compete even as a senior athlete against young men and exceed their world records. So there was a number of things that went into it, but the psychology, the power of the mind, I never gave up. I did not even let doubt cross my mind that I would ever not break the world record. It was always in my mind clearly that I would train and step up and break that record, which I did.
Wow. Well, this is a small interview for you. Thank you. It's a privilege for me that you letting me interview you and let me know. And it's a privilege. You are you're a champion, and you're still empowering people and pushing people. So that is Dr. Nick Delgado.
I have a special place in my heart for Latinos and the Latin community, and being part Mexican and Spanish and French, German, American Indian. I'm a big mix of a lot of countries. So I always look to support my roots. And furthermore, I have a place in my heart for children and those with autism, those on the spectrum. 2 of my children struggled with that situation. So all of these things have brought me to, I think, become a better educator and a better person. Because when you're contributing and helping others to be their best and helping the families to deal with challenges with their own kids, whether it be disabilities or mental or physical challenges or disease conditions, it's been my opportunity with great desire to help educate the world that we do have a lot of answers. That's why I read all these books and more, and I went to universities and studied with some of the great mentors and educators. So I feel in a blessing, and thank you for this interview.
It's a big legacy that you have here, your office. And I want to ask you something about what do you think what's going on around the world, the global situation that everybody is worried and concerning. You know how to guide them and how to give them the right answer. What the answers? What's your conclusion, your opinion, your advice?
Well, I first want to comment that the first responders, the nurses, the doctors, the scientists that are working day and night to try and solve horrendous conditions and situations with the pandemic, Uh, it also brings to light that I think most people gave up on the whole idea that they could prevent or reverse heart disease or diabetes or cancer. But since then, there's been textbooks and scientists and articles that have shown we can reverse and prevent over 20 different diseases, including most infectious diseases, because our immune system has an incredible power to overcome diseases. And what was the most striking finding is in the blood, we have a certain type of cells and antibodies that can produce over 1 million different combinations to deal with over 1 million different types of viruses. There's no medical technology we have that could deal with 1 million different vaccines. It just doesn't exist. But your body already has it. Your body can actually mount a defense and create a permanent antibody to never allow that virus to harm you again. So I think that we're undergoing economic hardship because of a lot of misinformation. I think that we've depended far too long on outdated methods of treatment, such as utilizing drugs, outdated vaccines, outdated technologies, when we really almost have to learn from an old way of thinking and apply it to a new solution. And that old way of thinking has always been, we need quality sleep. We need to eat properly, healthy, whole, plant-based, oil-free, sugar-free food. We need to learn how to select the right supplements that match our needs. We need to know about food compatibility, to know which foods you're allergic to and which ones you're compatible with, to reduce inflammatory response so our immune system works better. And most importantly, we need to understand the importance of exercise and then tie that all into the power of the mind, because the mind allows us to do all of these things on a daily basis. Correct. And not make excuses that I don't have time to exercise, or I'm going to stay up too late tonight and not get quality sleep, or I'm going to take substances to drive my body into the point where we reach a stage of chronic fatigue. We have more stress in this world and less love than we've ever had in my entire over 65 years of living. I've never seen anything like it. But I will say that hopefully the humanity in us will come out, and interviews like this will help people to come closer together, to realize there truly are solutions, and do not give up. Fear and lack of hope is a great disservice to the world. And we need to step up bravely into this situation and conquer it like our body has the ability to. If we'll just get out of the way of the immune system and the body and the mind and the power of what we have, we can do it.
I know we can do it. I studied the power of mind for almost 12 years. And I know and I believe the law of attraction. And I believe in God and karma. And he's a great human. And it's a how should I say it? You inspire and you push people to do their best. That is a good karma.
When the student is ready, the teacher will arrive. And many people now have been brought to their knees financially, emotionally, physically. And it's time that we help people to regroup and understand the science of the laws that the universe and God has given us, to apply those principles to effectively transform this planet and to kind of recorrect itself. It's gone off in the wrong direction. It's time that we get in sync and in harmony, in contribution, in love and forgiveness. There's some very powerful emotions out there that need to be let go. And we don't gain anything by blaming people. There's people out there that maybe have certain agendas. They may feel they're helping us, but because of these outdated methods, they are leaving us more susceptible and more at risk than at any time. So please pay attention to what is going on in the real world. And please avoid sensationalism in the media and seek out those teaching the truth. I have some of my favorites that I believe are more committed to the truth as I am. I feel the truth should weigh out over money. It should weigh out over aggressive behavior of control and dominance. There's nothing wrong with being confident. There's a big difference between dominating and suppressing people's will to enjoy life and love.
Totally. Totally. How can people reach out to you, and how can you guide my people that follow me to get into the products that you offer to us?
Well, the products are available with a new
The website.
brand that we've been working on for the last nearly 15 years. And it's a product line that's called docnutrients.com/secret. We have a special offer. So for people who avail, and when they put in their notes, when they make their purchase, that they heard about it from your show, we'll make sure that they also get an additional really cool item. And that's my course, How to Build a Strong Immune System Against the Coronavirus. And also I'll include the course Fat Loss and Fitness, because I think people suffer from self-esteem issues and how they look and how they feel. And this course is designed along with neuroreprogramming to get them on track. So there's 3 courses that I'll include with the acquiring of this special high potency natural supplemental herbal program.
Oh, well, thank you so much again. That's Dr. Nick Delgado, champion, and thank you so much.
Thank you.